True Shagatam, everyone. Welcome to Bengals where we bring real stories from real people. Today, we are joined by a very special guest. His name is Jawad Monzur. He's from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and he's going to be sharing his story of getting his hair back. How you doing, Jawad?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today. How,
I'm
how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You had a good long day today, maybe.
Oh yeah, I just came back from work not too long ago, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
good.
Do you remember like us connecting on Facebook, maybe like on social media?
Yeah. We've been friends for a while, but we just haven't been able to, get this done. So I'm glad we're finally doing it.
Yeah, I checked on Facebook. Maybe we became friends almost a decade ago.
Yep, almost.
Almost a
Just
decade ago.
about.
So yeah, it's cool to finally chat with you. So
Yep.
yeah, I see you online. You enjoy working out. Maybe you have these really amazing videos where you're hitting sets and hitting the weights.
So the reason a lot of people ask me, why I started working out. So the main reason for that would be growing up around the age of, let's say, 6 or 7. I was a skinny kid. I was very fairly thin, and then out of nowhere, I started to put on weight, and it wasn't just a little bit of fat here or there
Mm,
as a kid, but I reached the point of obesity at a very young age.
okay,
I currently live in Bangladesh now, but back then I lived in the US. So when you live in the United States, you're bound to eat a lot of fast food
that's true.
almost all the time. So it was lunch and dinner, fast food. Breakfast, maybe not so much, but it was a continuous thing until we went to the doctor one day and I told him that, whenever I'm walking, I have a hard time breathing.
Oh,
And, just a few minutes of walking, it just made me feel tired and not so good. So, once I got a checkup done, he said, your son has obesity. He's reached a point at a young age where it's not safe for him to continue, this eating habit of, having McDonald's, having Burger King, having fast food all the time.
right.
You have to have a healthier lifestyle. So my parents did get scared. And then eventually, it's not that I started working out right there and then. By that time, I was only 8 or maybe 10 with that kind of weight. So we started a diet. I started to, eat less fast food and more home cooked meals and everything. I didn't really like it because, who would give up McDonald's over
Of
home food?
course. Yeah, you're used to that as well. Like in America,
Yeah.
especially. Yeah.
So what happened was then we moved to Canada from the US. I was around maybe 11, 12 by the time we moved. So when you move to Canada from a warm climate to a colder climate, your diet usually changes. It just drastically changes because, your body is adjusting to something you're not used to.
Hmm.
So once that happened, I entered grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, and I did lose some weight. I lost a lot of weight, but I was still fat. And what I remember as a kid in the US is when you didn't have a specific size to fit you, they called you a husky kid. So husky was a respectable way of saying you're, overweight.
Hmm.
So when you walk around, shopping malls saying, "Hey, do you have anything for husky kids?" To me, it didn't matter because clothes were clothes. But once you grow up, you're in high school, people look at you, people judge you, and that's when I started thinking, okay, I need to physically do something that's going to change, how I look. And just by doing a diet was not helping.
Hmm.
So I started doing, lifting. I during lunch I would eat, and then after maybe a half an hour, we had like an hour of lunch every day. And this is in high school in Canada. I'd go to the gym, I'd lift weights, I'd ask a few people, if I'm doing it right. They said yes. If I'm doing it wrong, they'd help out. And that's how it started. So from the age of, let's say, 12, 13, I started lifting weights, I started eating right. Things started to change. I saw development in my arms, fat from my waist decreased, and I felt better. Looking better was just the plus point. Feeling good was like everything to me. Once I came to Bangladesh, I did take a long break from it because, getting used to the culture, the people around me, a lot of the family members I didn't know growing up, all that, it took some time to get used to. And then eventually around 2014, 15, I really got into it. I just joined a gym and I said, let's do this. Let's see what happens.
So, like,
Uh,
what was the motivation for the second phase of you like joining
the
back?
second, it was just me telling myself, I don't want to go back to that obesity phase, that
Mm,
very big phase where I have trouble walking, breathing, not being able to move, or not wanting to move.
right.
So it just happened. I put on a lot of muscle, as you saw in the videos,
Right.
pictures, images, and then from then on, it's just been like that. It's like a thing where I wake up 6:38 every day in the morning, except when I'm not going to the gym. I go to the gym, I have a really good session, and then come back. I go to work, come back. I'm with my family. That's how my day has been for the last, quite a bit of time. Like it's just been like that, and it's worked.
That's
So
awesome.
for anyone who says you can't do it or you shouldn't do it because it's too hard, it's gonna take too long. That's the whole point. It's supposed to take time. I mean,
Right.
if everyone could do it, everyone would. It's just a matter of you have to start at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it started
And
for me.
that's awesome. That's really amazing and inspiring to hear from you because you're also working. And you're
Yeah,
right. Like some people have that excuse that, oh, I have this full time job or I have this family thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially to those who have desk jobs, who sit 8 9 hours a day behind a desk. You're going to put on weight. That's a given.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to make an hour of the time of the day just to maybe go to the gym, maybe go for a walk, go for a run, do something that's good for you.
Like, do you even remember the last time you had breathing issues? Because, it's been a long time, I suppose, but
Luckily, no. All the working out actually really helped. If I do ever have any breathing issues, it would be due to maybe dust or you know how the Bangladeshi
of
weather
course.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be weather based, but it's never because of my own my own doings. So
Hmm.
it's never because I'm physically not able to.
All right, that's great. Do you
Yeah.
have a specific diet that you kind of try to follow or?
So in terms of diet, what I try to do, I go high protein, low carbs, and medium fats because from what I've realized, being in Bangladesh, you really can't avoid fats.
Mm.
It's in almost everything we eat. So I just try to maintain it. Do I count my calories? Not at all. I just count my protein intake, and that's worked out for me so far.
That's great. So, some
Yeah.
people are over almost like OCD-ish. Like they're like, if I can't count my calories, I don't feel like I'm ready to even start working out. Like they need a
Uh,
plan first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that completely. A lot of people have come to me and said, what should I do? Can I do this? And I asked them, do you want to put on weight? Do you want to lose weight? Or do you want to, maintain how you are? And that's when they get confused themselves because they don't really know what they want.
Yeah.
But, again, it depends on the individual. If you want to take that step, watch a few YouTube videos, see a few articles. It will help. That's how I started.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
So,
awesome to see. Yeah, like I read about these, but you're the first guy I've met who's saying you were obese as a kid. Like not a lot of people talk about this.
it was an uncomfortable topic at some point in my life because when you're overweight, there are people out there that tend to make fun of you, that bully you. You're a
Yeah.
fat kid, you can't do this, you can't do that, haha, you run funny, or
Mm-hmm.
there's always something to comment about. So yeah, at some point in my life it did bother me until I realized if anyone's going to change that, it's going to be me. No one else can do it for me, so that's what I did.
So speaking of change, when was the first time you noticed like significant hair loss? Like, I get like
uh,
people can lose hair, but like
yeah.
significant hair loss. Yeah.
So hair loss, it goes way back to actually probably around age 14, 15. I would wake up sometimes and I think, something is tickling my face or something's here. And then I look up and I look at my pillow and I'm like, what is that? And then I realize it's my hair. And it usually just started around here. And I'm like, why is my hair falling? I don't get it. I went to a doctor. Again, this is still in Canada. I went to a doctor. He said, you're probably stressed from maybe school. Maybe you're not eating enough vegetables, calcium, milk, all these things. Okay. It's just a simple diet change and getting more rest, maybe. I did exactly that. By age 2021, I could probably see spaces in my head right here. And I was like, what is going on? Why am I still losing hair after applying oil, fixing my diet,
Yeah.
exercising, and all these different
Basically
things?
listening to the doctor. Still not
Yeah,
working.
yeah, nothing was working. And then in the last 2 to 3 years, I just started YouTubing, hair transplants.
Last two to
And
3 years.
yeah, in the last 2 to 3 years. So
Okay.
before I took my step, I just started researching,
So did
should
it,
I?
sorry, so like did it
Yeah,
start bothering you on a personal level or what?
it did because
Okay.
I got married in 2021. I had my son in 2023.
Oh,
So
that's
to me, I was like, do I want to be that father who has a son right now, and when he grows up, he's going to tell me, come up to me and say, "Hey, Dad, why are you bald at such a young age?" I didn't want that because that to me bothered me. I was like, okay, I will not be one of those dads that
Mhm,
lose all their hair before a specific age.
mhm.
I'm not even 40 yet.
Yeah.
So I YouTubed hair transplants. I YouTubed minoxidil, finasteride. These are all medicines that people use to, for hair growth, to maintain hair, all these different things. And I'm like, nothing seems permanent unless you take a hair transplant. So I searched clinics in Dhaka. There are a few in the Dhanmondi area. There are a few in Gulshan, Borani, and all these different areas. And I said, okay, they all look, pretty much the same, but I need something that's legit. That won't just take my money and say, yeah, we can help you. So that's when I came across New Roots in Bonani. I checked their reviews, their videos, how everything just worked out for most of their patients. Some had way better results than others, in my opinion. So based on that, I called them. I sent them a picture of how I looked at the time. I had my procedure done in June on the 21st.
Mm.
So they said, everything was fine. You're at grade 3 baldness. So that's basically around this area of the
Okay.
head.
I think that's the most common, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because a lot of people you'll always see is they start balding from the front
Mm.
instead of the back.
Right.
So luckily though, I had hair on the back, a lot of hair.
Yeah.
So that's where they basically take the hair from to add it to any part of your head.
Yeah.
So I asked them, how much will it cost and how many grafts will I need? And your next question might be, what is a graft? A graft is basically a little bit of hair, a strip of hair.
Hmm.
So they took around 3,200 grafts from the back of my head, made incisions into the front around this area, and they started putting it in. They said once it's done, you wait 8 to 9 days, then you take your first shower. And I kept telling myself, I can't shower for 9 days. That sounds horrible. And
Not
then
even a body wash, like without the hair.
well, that's what I did. I used a sponge and I just rubbed all over. But that was the scary part because you're not allowed to get any kind of water
You gotta be
towards
careful.
yeah. So the only time you could actually use any type of water is if they gave you like a saline bottle, and you would spray it on your head every time. So I asked them, how long do I have to do it? They said you have to do that every 2 hours to keep your scalp,
Mm.
moisturized
Mm.
and to make sure it's not dry. I did that for about the first 10 days. Took my shower and all the scabbing, all the redness, it just all fell off. And I was like, oh, okay. I haven't been bald in almost, it's been 10, 15 years since I've shaved my head. So it was really interesting to see how much of whatever I had left, because I didn't have hair follicles. These things that we have right here, they're all called follicles.
Mm.
I didn't know those follicles would return because, I took follicles from the back of my head, implanted them into the front.
Mm.
And now here, 3 months later, it's still not in the growing phase, by the way.
All right.
The growing phase actually starts from next month. So whatever you're seeing right now is basically
Oh,
not the transplanted hairs, but all the other hairs that I have naturally.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's what they said as well. Recently we also started doing our PRP injection therapy. So that's basically where they draw blood from your arm and then they separate plasma from the blood and they inject it into your head. What that basically does, it increases the rate your hair grows, so that will make the implanted hair start to come out faster. So I get 3 sessions of that. First session was this month. The next one will be next month, and the last one will be the month after.
Okay.
So I should be seeing results probably before December.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Are these PRP sessions a part of the hair transplant process,
They
or?
are.
Oh,
They will suggest that to anyone who takes a hair transplant because it does two things. It helps the transplanted hairs come out,
hmm,
and then it helps the existing hairs feel better. So it's like giving your hair a second chance, not just the transplanted area, but all over.
all over.
It
Oh,
keeps your hair healthy, and it just like it lets your hair breathe, kind of. It's a funny way of saying it, but that's what it actually does.
giving your hair a second chance. Yeah, I like that. Were those incisions or maybe these injections painful, or like how was the experience?
What they first did was they used an anesthetic cream to just put it right here,
Mm.
and then they told me to lay down, which I did, and then the next thing I know, they had to use an anesthetic needle to make sure this area went numb. What I didn't realize is I thought they would only put the needle here and here near the front. What they did was they started to go into the middle and then into the back, and that's when it actually hurt because
Mm-hmm.
if they use an anesthetic needle for the entire head, my entire head will go numb, and that's not really,
A fun
that's not really
experience.
needed. That's
Yeah.
unnecessary. Yeah. So it did hurt for maybe 2 to 3 minutes because it was four here and then four here and then just two in the front, and it didn't really take too long because the pain is temporary, but the results are forever. So
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that again two more times.
Yeah, that's the main, I guess, mentality you need to have. You want the
Yeah.
results, so you're willing to go through the pain. Is it okay to tell us like how was the price or how much did it cost?
So the way they explained it to me when I first went to the clinic was the pricing usually depends on the condition of your hair. So
Oh,
if you have too much balding, which luckily I didn't, it will cost more, obviously, because the more baldness you have, the more grafts it'll take.
mm.
Mine was originally supposed to be 2,500 grafts, but they gave me 3,200, which was, again, those extra 700 grafts were for free, not with the costing of the original
Oh,
price.
okay.
So that to me was really helpful, or else it would have cost me, probably a lot more than what it did.
Yeah.
So 3,200 grafts, 700 was free. It cost me about 1,25,000.
All right.
So that's like saying per graft was anywhere about 48 to 50 taka per graft in
Right.
terms of Bangladeshi taka. So that would be just about, let's say, $1,000 for those who are listening worldwide,
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah.
So I spent $1,000 on a hair transplant, and I'm seeing results, and I'm happy. But this is just the beginning.
How is your family and everyone reacting? Like, how is everyone?
At first, everyone was a bit scared. My mom is still scared sometimes to touch my head because she thinks, what if something happens when I touch it? I'm like, no, I comb my hair every day. Everything is fine. I take a shower.
Mhm.
Nothing bad is happening. My son sometimes hits me in the head. Everything's fine. But yeah, they're still waiting to see what happens, a few months from now to actually see the pure results because this is just the beginning stage. So I'm pretty sure, I'll grow my hair out again and then let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, they're scared. It's like not a subject that is, a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
information on. People are
It,
like
it's a
aware.
real it's a real sensitive topic because no one really wants to lose their hair, whether you're male or female.
True.
You reach a certain age and you're like, okay, I'm in my late 40s, maybe I'm in my early 50s. It's fine if I lose hair, but when you're in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, it's impossible to think I'm going to lose my hair right now. I'm already seeing gaps here and spaces here. It's not normal, and people will run around like crazy trying to find a solution. There's hair serums, there's hair oils, there's the hair transplants, the PRPs, and no one knows which one's best until you actually go to a clinic and say, can you figure out what's wrong with me? Because this is very uncomfortable, very uneasy.
Hmm.
I see how people look at me, and they don't look me in the eyes, they look at my head first.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why I really wanted to do that, because when you have a conversation with someone, they judge you on your appearance before
Right.
anything else.
Right. First impression, and yeah.
Yeah.
Even at your job, right?
Even at my job, even now. I mean, I've been at the current place that I'm working with. I've been here 3.5 years.
All
The first thing I see their eyes go to is my head. I'm like, okay, I have hair now, so I'm fine.
And this is just a hypothetical question. Like, if there was nothing like a transplant that existed, would you embrace that look? Like like a
I would 100%.
okay.
If I had to, if somebody told me, we have nothing that you could take, no pills, no serums, no
Mhm.
oils, no kind of, operations. Fine, I'll shave my head.
I think
mean,
I think you have the face which would suit both, like a longer hair and also a like a
yeah,
Dwayne the
yeah,
Rock Johnson. You know?
yeah. Like I've tried being bald and it worked out, and then I've tried growing my hair. That worked out too. So luckily, I'm one of those guys who can,
You
who
can pull
have done
off,
both.
yeah,
Yeah,
both of both looks.
yeah. I've seen you grow your hair too. You look really good.
Yeah, my family hated it, but yeah, I just I always wanted to, but the weather really sucks here.
Yeah, the weather really.
That's the only
I mean,
reason.
if it was colder, believe me, I would encourage anyone to grow their hair, but
Absolutely, absolutely.
not like at least in this country.
Even if I was living maybe in Sylhet or some other part of Bangladesh where there's not pollution like in Dhaka, then maybe I
Yeah,
would.
the pollution, the humidity,
Yeah.
it really messes with the hair. That's another thing I think that caused my hair to fall was probably the weather and the water. As you know, the water, regardless of wherever you stay, it always has too much iron in it. And
Mm,
all that iron, your head absorbs it, and eventually the roots get weak and the hair starts to fall. I
yeah.
think I noticed that the most when I had long hair. Every time I showered, I'd come out, dry my hair with a towel, and then I'd see one, two, three, four, five, six strands of hair. And I'm like, okay, is it because I grew my hair or is it because of the water? And the next thing I know, I go back into the bathroom, I turn the water tap on, and the water is lit almost orange. And I'm like, wait a second, is that
Yeah.
what's causing,
That's the iron.
so much hair fall all at once? I think what we did is because we had a water line problem at the time, we actually moved houses from that specific area because it was happening to everyone, and then
Oh.
we just moved homes.
Are you like okay now in your current home?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
now it's a lot better. The water is actually clean.
But you grew up in the West, basically.
Yeah, so the first 17 to almost 18 years of my life has been in the West, so in the United States and in Canada.
Okay. So that's why it's also another reason maybe like when you moved to Bangladesh, the everything that changed, the environment,
Yeah,
the atmosphere affected.
the environment, the weather, the people, the food, everything makes a difference for a person physically, and your emotions also have a part to play when it comes to whether it be weight loss, hair loss, weight gain, anything.
Yeah, everything.
So another thing I would like to tell the people is like, if you're having hair issues, whether it's maybe hair fall or dandruff or anything, it's okay to talk about it with people, especially if you're, scared to go to a doctor to be judged by them. It's their job to do that. They have to check. They have to tell you, whatever you're doing right now, diet wise, or maybe the shampoo you're using or the water you're putting on your head, it's not healthy, it's not safe. Listen to them, and it will help. At first I didn't want to, but then I realized it's better to do it now than later because there might not be anything left later.
Yeah. And as you said, like you have to take the step since you want to
Yeah,
change, so you have to do it.
exactly.
Before going to the doctor, did anyone, I guess, inspire you or suggest anything, or you just figured it out
um
yourself?
to be honest, it was actually the opposite. People were telling me, they're not going to do a good job. They just want the money, and
Mhm.
you shouldn't go forward with this. What
Like
if
a
it doesn't
scam.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah, what if it's a scam? And I'm like, it's fine. I have a friend who did it. His hair turned out really good. I have two colleagues at my current office who did it, and they might have done it at a different place, but it's still within the country. It should be fine.
Hmm.
So they were very skeptical. They were saying no, don't do it. It just won't work. But I said, what? Let's trust the process. Let's go on with it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll shave my head. It's fine.
Yeah, like
Um,
you want to take, like you don't want to regret looking back, like I didn't take the chance.
like why didn't I do it?
Yeah.
I had the chance to do it. I have the money to do it right
Right.
now. I should take it. I might not get another chance like this, so that's what I did.
I respect that. I respect that. Like believing in yourself and not letting others, pull you back.
Exactly. A person shouldn't always, let others just make that decision for them, whether this is bad or good.
Yeah.
It's up to you really to make that choice.
So at this point, I guess this is a basic question. At this point, what are three things you are grateful for?
So the first would be my wife, because she's like she's like the backbone, she keeps me strong. And the second thing would be, my health. If anyone is struggling with their health, look after yourselves, and believe me, that will come back to you in a really good way.
Mm-hmm.
So whether if you're a skinny person, overweight, or you're just trying to get by, it when it happens, it'll happen. You will get your, your calling, that your body is okay and you're feeling fine. And the third thing would be my determination. Growing up, I wasn't always the kid that was heavily encouraged to do things. Usually it's always a, don't do this, don't do that, that's not good for you, people always making your decisions for you kind of
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. But then I realized, I have to do this for me, uh even especially when I'm scared. So being determined to do something and taking that leap of faith is just everything. That was it for me. The hair transplant, the working out, the eating habits, the, getting married, for example. That's scary. That's very scary.
Yeah,
I have to, take care of another person, and then comes, a child and everything. That's a leap of faith again. You
damn
have to
straight.
be
Yeah.
you have to be determined, or else, it doesn't work.
Would you say, like, is there some sources of motivation in your lifestyle or in your hobbies that like shaped your determination, or was it always there, like a part of you?
Well, this one you're going to like because it's something we have in common. I started watching wrestling around the age of 8. So I was very
Wow.
small. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was basically a kid. I didn't really know what was happening at first, but I would tune in every week and I'm like, what is going on? Why are they fighting? But, it was like I watch cartoons, but this isn't like cartoons. They're like real people trying
Yeah.
to be the bad guy and the good guy. I want to be the good guy. So that's when I saw, The Rock. I saw Shawn Michaels. I saw, all these different characters. I saw Jeff Hardy. I saw, The Undertaker beating up Kane, his brother, or his pretend brother. And then I was like, huh, I wonder if I could do that one day too. But obviously that didn't happen because,
Yeah.
that takes years of training. But yeah, that was an inspiration to me because, outside of wrestling, I do follow them on social media, and they are inspiring people because, little kids look up to them in the sense that, they're like real life superheroes doing what they do to entertain all of us, whether it's, through a storyline or doing an advertisement or anything. Let's take the biggest superhero of all. Let's take John Cena for an example. Um, there was a kid that told, everyone on live TV or that his mom was fighting cancer, and he followed John Cena's motto of never give up. Gave him his wristband to him, and you know,
Mhm.
6 years later, she's cancer free. John Cena saw that, it made him cry. It
Yeah.
made me emotional too.
I saw that. Yeah.
So when you have characters or people like that telling you, don't give up, be determined, do what you have to do in life to get through those hard times. That's it. That's good. I'll take that over, anything. Things like that inspire me. I mean, you start from something to finally get somewhere all the way up here. We're all here at some point,
Right.
and to get to here, it's not, it's not a piece of cake. So, whether it was wrestling for me, it was, you know, the working out, the exercise for me that, showed me, okay, if I start today, I will get results. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a year, but I will get results. And that's what exactly happened.
Wow, that was powerful. Uh,
Oh, I am really sorry
Oh,
about
no
that.
worries, no worries. I thought the Undertaker just popped up.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Uh,
Uh,
so, as you can see, because we live in Bangladesh, the electricity just went out, but it will come back in like a minute. Give me one moment, please.
do you like you have a generator or it's like
I
coming
I
back?
do. It should be coming on in just a moment. Yeah, so that's what inspired me to be where I am right now and how I am right now.
Yeah, that was very inspiring. Did you grow up watching like maybe Dragon Ball Z or these
I did.
shows?
Anime also played a big role
Anime.
in my childhood too.
Yeah.
I started with Dragon Ball Z, and then everything else that plays right now. There's been Attack on Titan. There's been Demon Slayer. There's been
I love them.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these different animes that just came out of nowhere, and it's been a part of my life ever since. I've attended a few cons as well. Throughout the years.
Hmm.
It's been good.
I have never attended one, and I wish I can. I just don't have that. Don't have the connection. So, do you have any other like last words to say to our viewers watching?
To everyone who's watching, if you're, you know, suffering from whatever problem you may be suffering from, it's okay. It's not the end because there's always a way to get out. It's just up to you to, pick yourself up and, get through it. You got this. If no one's going to support you, then the only person you can count on is yourself. And I am 100% sure that you will get through what you have to go through to, to get up there. You can only be down for so long until you're finally up here and you can tell people you've done good.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's always the first step is the hardest. It's always that first
Exactly.
step. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please follow our guest here. Here's his Instagram and like the video, subscribe to Bingoscape. This was your bird, Saf Hardy, signing off for now.
Thank you.